What's up, everyone? Welcome to the channel, RC Kevin. Thank you for being there. Today, we're going to start something a bit different, and hopefully, it grows into something pretty fun. I got Zach from Donathan RC right there, and we're going to start talking about a couple of things in RC, how to take care of your stuff, maintain everything properly. And tonight, we're going to be talking about types of batteries, how to charge them, how to take care of them, make sure you don't put your house on fire. And hopefully, Zach, with his couple of years of experience, he's going to be able to help you out with myself. So, Zach, for those of us that don't really know who you are and what you do, tell us what DRC is and quickly introduce yourself.
Yeah, so I'm Zach. So DRC or Donathan RC is a custom charging product manufacturer located in the United States, and I've been racing for 20 years.
Nice. So, shameless plug, we're going to have the link in the description down below, drcproshop.com. And hopefully, we won't throw you too much bones. So, really, we want to try and help people make sure they know what's going on. This is for maybe RC newbies, people that don't know much. Everybody is always scared of batteries, especially lipos, and people are not always aware of how to take care of them and whatnot. So, how many types of batteries are there right now?
So I would say there's like three main types. So like your main like racing style battery is going to be your LiPo battery. And then there's another lithium type called Life pack. Those are really good for like your radios or something that doesn't need the performance but still needs a long charge. And then there's a third type, which is kind of like to NiCad or NIM, NICD or NIMH. They're kind of the same. And those are the like previous generation of racing batteries. I know they've come a long way, but anyway, you cut in a LiPo battery is going to be better than a NiCad or a NIM.
Well, we
Um,
still see some RTR kits that do come with NIMCADs or NEMH because they're not very expensive. But I think one of the first upgrades that you can do on your kit is to put a LiPo battery in. It's going to change drastically the performance of the vehicle.
yeah, as long as you have a LiPo capable ESC or speed control.
Exactly. Thank you. So, LiPo, in terms of performance, is what's going to be pushing the most power. And then Lifey doesn't have the same voltage and amperage, but they're a bit more stable. And NIMCAT are most of the time entry level batteries, which provide current, but not at a high amperage or high output. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's about sums it up.
Cool.
I will say that the NiCad batteries don't need to be balance charged, and Life and LiPo batteries don't need to be, but for additional performance and extended life, balance charging your Life and LiPo batteries does help.
Okay. So balancing basically is to prevent loss of performance and puffing and all that stuff. Is that correct?
Right. So when you balance charge a battery, you're able to. So what essentially, let's break it down. You're looking at the individual voltage of each cell, which you cannot do with a NiCad or an NIM battery. You look at the overall voltage. But with a LiPo or a Life battery, there's a balance. There's additional wires included in the charge lead or your balance board, things like that. So you're able to individually charge each cell while also being able to look at the individual voltage and overall voltage. So it's safer as long as you have your charger set to stop at the appropriate voltage.
Cool. So I think most of the people are, I don't want to say scared, but when they start, they're aware of not being safe with a LiPo battery can lead to fire or something not very, very fun. So what are the ways to ensure that your LiPo batteries are going to last long?
So the first thing is you're looking for a quality battery. So there are, which generally means a higher price tag. So if you have a new battery for $20, and we're talking, so we'll say a $5,000 or 5,000 milliamp stick bat, and a milliamp is like how long the battery will last.
So
Um,
let's start up. Let's talk about that. I didn't do my job correctly. So there's like three or four information are very important. There's the voltage, which is usually related to the cell count. So 1 cell, 2 cell, 3 cell, and whatnot. Then there's the C rating. There's the what's the most important things?
so the C, so I'll debug the C rating for you. The C rating is whatever the manufacturer feels like putting on the battery. There's no scientific method to determine the C rating. So it's kind of not always the more C rating, the better, but your battery should have at least a 60 or 80 if you want like a super high performance battery. There are some that claim 200. And I mean, we can get into that,
200C.
but yeah, but it's not, I mean, you just can't.
So when you test them with a C rating tester, just so people know, all of them rate between 19 to 25C. They'll be written 60 or 135 or whatnot, but there's a way that a 60C battery is going to work more than a 135C battery. We just don't know how.
Well, simplicity. So what makes a good RC battery? So, I mean, you got to find one that's going to last longer for you. So whatever your application is, whether you're out in the yard bashing, at the local racetrack, or just putzing around your backyard, the more milliamp is the longer run time. So a milliamp is typically dictated as mAh. It is probably the largest number on your battery. So like a typical battery is like 5,000 or something like that. So you want to make sure that you're using battery voltage, or a correct cell count for your ESC. So some speed controls and ESCs only have like a 2S capability. Some have like a 4S to 6S capability, and you want to make sure your electronics are equipped to handle the power that you're trying to put through them. Because if not, you're going to fry your speed controller, your motor, and then you're not going to be able to run your car.
That sucks. Okay, so MAH, so milliamperage, is sort of like the fuel tank. The bigger the number, it's not really going to punch more, but it's going to last much longer. Is that correct?
Yeah, in general terms, yes.
Cool. All right. So those are the numbers that you can check. If you're going to be bashing, you want something that's maybe a bit more than 5,000 milliamps, so you can play for more than 10 minutes. For racing applications, most of the time people are going to go for weight to power ratio. So that's a whole different ballgame. So what are the safe ways to charge a battery?
So if you're charging a Lipo or a Life, you want to make sure to start off with that you have your charger on the right setting. Charging your Life or a Lipo battery on NiCad or NIM setting will definitely overcharge it. So typically with a Lipo battery, you want to charge it to 4.2 volts per cell. That's kind of the maximum. Now, there are some high voltage batteries and some exceptions to that, but 4.2 volts is a pretty safe bet. And then the second thing you want to do is have a Lipo bag of some sort, a flame retardant.
So in the event that the charger doesn't give the right output, or there's a malfunction somewhere, chances are that the battery is going to fry up. And being in a Lipo bag like Posay for a flame retardant equipment is going to prevent your house to burning down.
It's not going to prevent it. It's going to give you time to get it to a safe place, like outside, And obviously, the higher quality the bag, the longer time you have. And sometimes, batteries are a little finicky, and they do go up in flames, after a long charge, or if it's too far dead and you're trying to charge it and just, stuff happens. Say you touch two of the leads together and that's all it takes. To start a lipo fire. So you want to make sure when you go to charge, it's on the right setting. You have the proper lead and equipment to do that. You want to make sure that lead is plugged into your charger first before you connect your battery. That way you don't have any issues in that sort. And then you want to make sure you have a lipo bag of some kind or a flame retardant device that you're putting your bag or your battery in to prevent any issues, hopefully.
Also, I see people sometimes post online, they charge their batteries on a sofa, on their bed, or on something that's made out of cloth. That's a very, very unsafe way of charging your batteries. Even if they don't blow up in flames, sometimes they start heating up for whatever reason because the chemical is unstable or something happens. So charging your batteries on a metal surface is one of the best possible ways, or a rubber surface or something that is not going to catch flame or fire very, very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So those are the safe ways of charging your batteries. Make sure you're on the right setting. Make sure you have the correct amperage that you're throwing to your battery. So I know some racers are sometimes throwing 40 amps at their batteries with those fancy chargers. So that's not typically very good for the battery. But for a general application, what is the amp to C rating or something like that? What do you do usually?
So, what the manufacturers uh, prefer is that you charge 1 amp per 1,000 milliamp.
Okay.
So if you have a 5,000 milliamp battery, you charge it 5 amps. Now, some will say you can charge twice. So you can do 2 amps per 1,000 milliamps. So like 10 amps. So if you're charging at 5 or 10 amps, either way, it's really safe as long as you have the proper equipment to do so, meaning your charger can do so and you're on the right setting. You have a proper charging lead. So sometimes, like if you have a bad charge lead, like maybe one your buddy made you or something, and there's not good solder joints on it or something like that. I've seen some stuff happen, and it's so you want to make sure you have good equipment, and then if you're charging at 5 or 10 amps, it's perfectly safe for the racers out there. Or guys that have a more capable charger, as long as you have a quality battery. So if you have a $20 battery and $100 battery, I know there's some manufacturers out there, I'm not calling any names out, that have like really expensive batteries, but maybe not. Look at the reviews, guys. Shop around, see what people think, ask the locals at your RC
Hobby shop.
hobby shop, or your track or whatever you got around you. See what they're running and ask why they're running them before you go make a purchase, because you want to save $5 or $10. It really does make a difference.
Cool. So let's not also forget that when you unplug your battery from the charger, don't pull the cable from the charger, because they're going to short, and then fireworks are going to be happening. Hopefully that's not what you want to do. What's a good way to store them? What do you do after you're done playing, you're done racing, you're done drag racing or whatnot? What do you do with your batteries to keep them as fresh and as safe as possible?
Right. So when you go to the first sentence, when you go to unplug your battery, you want to unplug your battery from the charge lead or the charger, or however you're charging. That's the safe way, and you want to make sure your charger's stopped charging, or discharging, or whatever you're doing. Um, now this, so let's start the beginning. There's only so many battery cycles you're going to get out of a battery. There's only so many times you're going to be able to charge it and go run it and discharge, and while you're running it, it discharges. There's only so many. Doesn't matter how expensive your battery is or any of that. There's just everything has a lifespan, and that includes your batteries. So after, I've gotten lucky with many of the quality batteries I run, and I'm able to get like a good 1,000 cycles out of them. So charging them 1,000 times and going to run them. I'm able to do this because I take care of my batteries. So the most out of it, you want to balance charge your battery. So again, you got to start with quality battery, then you balance charge it. And then when you're done running, you want to make sure that the voltage on the battery is about 3.8 volts per cell. And what this will do is that's the storage voltage. So it's not, if you put a battery away fully charged, it's more liable to puff up or even catch fire. And you don't want to do that. And the same is true if a battery is closer to 3.0 volts per cell. So when your batteries get down that low, and we're talking for LiPo batteries here. So when your batteries get down that low, they also have a chance to catch fire down there. So you want to keep them, you got a little wiggle room, but not much. So if you got like a 3.9 volts per cell, that's okay. 3.7, that's okay. Somewhere in the, in that range. So 3/8 is the average and what most manufacturers prefer you store their batteries at.
Cool. So when they're stored and you're not going to be touching them for maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, some people suggest ammo cans. Some people suggest bat safe cases that cost like $70. A good Lipo bag is usually going to be more than enough. And again, shameless plug, drcproshop.com. No, so that's really to try and make people laugh, especially him. But we're gonna have the link in the description. If you want to see what he does everything. Most of the products are all made by the man himself, and he vouches for everything he does. I appreciate your time. Is there anything else that we forgot to take care of the batteries the right way?
So like charging and storing batteries, I want to be kind of clear about this. Most LiPo bags, the max to charge in one bag is 2 batteries. Now, if you have a suspect battery that you're charging, so if it's puffed or if it hasn't been ran for a while, I would suggest charging it in its own bag by itself, and keeping an eye on it while you're doing so. Which means sometimes opening the bag, looking at it, if you can see it's puffing more, or if it's starting to puff, maybe stop charging. So safety is, number one. Nobody wants to blow up their stuff. And if you have a puff battery, a battery you don't feel good about, a battery that has a dead cell, something like that, there's lots of drop-off places you can bring them to. I know one is like batteries and bulbs. They take the batteries for free. I dropped a couple off, not too long ago before I moved. So they take them. And when you're charging, so 2 batteries per battery safety device. If you're doing it that way, I don't recommend charging your car because stuff happens and then you don't have a car anymore if you have a flame in your pit. Storage wise, different battery devices, safety devices, have different limits, but typically like 4 batteries, more or less, depending on how big it is maximum. And if you're not sure about a battery, put it in its own battery bag. Don't risk all your batteries for one of them. And if you don't have another battery bag, there's cement pads, or go drop it off, go ask a friend, go ask your local hobby shop, local track, those type of things.
Cool. So always err on the safe side. Obviously, no one wants to blow up their stuff, like you said. Hopefully, everybody has a good success and everybody can use their batteries safely. And that was pretty much it. So that's the first episode or edition or whatever you want to call it of our little weekly talk about something. Most likely next week we're going to be talking about connectors, how they do, what's the best way for your car or whatnot. If you have any comments, drop them down below. If you have any suggestions, we'll gladly entertain them in the next weeks. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate. Thank you very much to DRC and Zac for being there. And we will see you very soon. Are we supposed to have like a catchphrase or something cute to say at the end?
Man, I don't know. We talk every day and we haven't got one of those yet. Yeah, what's
We'll
that
work.
one thing? No, hold on. I think, hold on, let me pull this up here. I'm holding this video. What'd you call yourself the other day?
Oh, damn it. What? I don't remember.
Hold on,
Oh,
I'll
the
see.
token Canadian.
Yeah.
You like that one, eh?
Token Canuck. Yeah, you're the
The
token
token Canuck. All right. And you're the little red hair guy. All right.
Canuck.
So thank you very much. Thanks for being there. And let us know if you have any comments or suggestions for next time. So be safe, guys, and talk to you soon.